All right. I think we are a few minutes behind schedule already, but there are ticking in attendees as we speak, but I think we should start. So, good morning and a warm welcome to this, the third out of 4 webinars that in a series that we call Netadmin Preconnect. My name is Håkan Nilhammar and I think I have met many of you already. And if not, I hope that I will have the opportunity to do so soon, even though the times out there are a little bit strange nowadays. But today the turn has come to present the youngest department within Netadmin, and we shall have a closer look on the customer care. We will look into the role that we have within Netadmin and what we work with, but more importantly, how we want to involve you and take care of you as our customers. During the session today, you will also meet Johan Strandberg, our support director, and also Mats Belenius, acting as customer success manager. And those guys will guide you through some of the areas that we will talk about today. But before we get started, just some practical things. Your microphones will be muted throughout the sessions, but you will have the opportunity to raise your hand though. And if that happens, I really don't know what we shall do, but I think we will figure something out. But I do know that you will be able to post questions into the questions chat throughout the session. And at the end, there will be a Q&A where we follow up on those. As you know, this is live, meaning that basically anything could happen. And something will probably happen. We might lose track of where we are in a presentation or other things. But if that happens, bear with us and let's take it with a smile. So I think that's all. So let's start off. So in order to fill the upcoming approximately 40 to 45 minutes, we have the following agenda to hold on to. First, we will have a short introduction to customer care. You can call it customer care in a nutshell, basically some background and what we strive for. After that, we will have a closer look into why Netadmin have introduced customer care. And again, more importantly, what it means for you as customers. After that, we will dive into a little bit more details in some areas that we work with today. We will have a look at the support function and the processes behind that. And during that session, Johan will be your guide. Mats will talk a little bit about our customer success management, how we want to help and assist you to succeed with your business regarding Netadmin. And after that, application management and what role that could play within your organization. And I will be your guide through or during that presentation. And the next bullet touches what we want to do in the future. We will present some ideas from our side, but it's also important that or we would like feedback from you there. And as just mentioned, we will end with a Q&A. So, intro to customer care. Yeah, we started up in 2020. So in that sense, we are all rookies, but many of the activities that we work with, Netadmin have worked with for quite some time. The thing is that we now have consolidated those under customer care with the ambition to have more or be able to have more focus on you and how you evolve and your well-being. Consequently, customer care. And the bullet below sums up quite well what we strive for. I mean, if you are doing fine, we both succeed and we are happy. And if we proceed to the next bullet, it's important for us to have a dialogue and create a long-term relation with you in order for us to understand your business and how you evolve, and accordingly how we at Netadmin in total can assist and back you up on your journey with us. So we have the ambition to proactively reach out to you from our side. No, it's hard nowadays to have physical meetings, but this is something that we look forward to reach out to you and actually meet you. And with this said, it's also important to share with you that we want you to know that we are available to you from your side. And we want you to know that you could contact us independent on what you have in mind. With this said, it's also important to mention our partners that we at Netadmin cooperate with on many of our markets. Our partners plays a very valuable role with local presence, insights, and understanding, both regarding market requirements, but also within Netadmin as a system. And we do have the common goal to goals regarding our partners. Again, I mean, they are very valuable for us, and they share the same interest of take care of you best way possible. But one of the reasons why we introduced customer care is that we experienced from our side, but also got feedback from you that our interaction tended to be a bit ad hoc. Sure, we had contacts during different projects and other happenings, but there could also be a long time of silence in between. So from that perspective, it was not an ideal situation for any of us. So, and something that we want to bridge with the customer care, of course. So, present and stable and always around is an important statement for us to share here with you today. And on the next slide, we will have a closer look into what we mean with this and also how you get involved. Customer care, your continuous companion. This will be a picture that from a general perspective describes why we have introduced customer care and what it means to you. And as a base for the illustration, we have used your journey with us indicated by or illustrated by the blue arrow on top there. And this might also be the most dynamic or animated slide today. So hold on. With this said, if we start from, if we take this from the very first beginning, as a new customer to us, it starts off with an implementation project delivered by our PS department or together with a partner based on a product delivered by our product department or the R&D department. And when completed, there is an internal handover by means of system documentation regarding your installation and your solution to a third wheel that comes into play here. And I guess you can guess which. Yes, it's customer care. So let's have a look into how customer care will follow and treat you during your journey with us. Again, I mean, the product support or the support function will be there for you as one of your contacts into us. Customer success management will be there for you, keeping up the dialogue, relation, and understanding of how you and your business evolves and what needs that might come up. This, of course, often in combination or together with other functions within Netadmin, such as the product managers and so forth. And finally, application management. That could be considered as an extension of the support function, but where we proactively looks after and take care of your installation or helps you out with tasks in relation to your operation of Netadmin. We will dive into more details regarding those three areas later on as well. But it doesn't end there. And one of the main things that we want to highlight with this particular slide is that throughout your journey, there will be a lot of happenings that involves other functions within Netadmin. You will have contact with the product department when it comes to product-related questions or desired new functionality. And of course, also our PS department or our partners when it comes to the actual deliveries or projects. And the role that we at customer care wants to play here is a sort of bridging or facilitating part, always present and involved, both internally as well as on your side. So, if we take a look how this could be in practice. As you know, the product department is the factory within Netadmin that, among others, produces releases, patches, product advancements, or product innovation, often in combination with you. And you could also participate in special interest groups, defining the actual functionality. And our PS department or partners are the delivery department that will actually carry out the defined projects with a clear start and end date, and when completed, again handed over to customer care. And to sum up this picture, customer care, our ambition is to be the durable partner that follows you during your journey. And by being involved in those happenings that takes place is one thing, but also, and this is maybe more important, we want to follow up and have the dialogues with you in between those happenings as well. So let's proceed to the next parts in this webinar, and we will have a closer look on the support function. So now we will change, and I will move over the microphone to Johan Strandberg.
Thank you kindly. So my nice picture in the beginning didn't show them.
No, that's up to you.
That's a score. Let's see how this works. Yeah. Well, normally when I do things like this, there are a lot of very technical people around, and I'm either showing how to do something using code or clicking around the system and showing people how you can do different things, or helping the salespeople or project people with the more technical aspects. This is actually one of the first times I will be doing a presentation involving my actual job title. That's a first. So that's kind of nice. Johan Strandberg, if that wasn't evident, sorry about that. Yes, a lot of the things that we do in the support will quite naturally evolve around tickets and our support portal. And the irony is not lost on me, having a older, almost kind of legacy version of a system that's hard to actually upgrade. That's quite obvious. Anyhow, there are a lot of plans going on what we want to do with that. I have several ideas on my own. And as always, if you have any ideas on what you would like to see in a support portal version 2.0 in forms of wizards, guides, additional information, functions, and so on, please feel free to let me know, and I'll see what we can do. Anyhow, most of the work then revolves around the tickets, managing the backlog, analyzing what we get in and how to deal with it. Well, actually, this is one of the most numerous ones when it comes to pure numbers, the direct answer kind of tickets. It's not really a product defect, it's not an order or any of the other flows we'll go through. It is something simpler. I wouldn't call it a first line since we don't offer that, and it's definitely not a substitute for actual training, but we do get a lot of questions regarding the product or things around it. For instance, where can I see this? Is this something that you can do in Netadmin? What would be the best approach of doing this? When can we expect the next release? Those sort of quite often direct questions, or is this something that we should be worried about, or should we investigate it, and so on. So the vast majority of the tickets we handle are actually of this type, which is kind of nice, to be honest. The second flow is the one that most of you probably associate with support. That is the handling of actual product defects. And in a perfect world, this would be very simple. You file a ticket saying we found a product bug. We send it over to R&D and they fix it and everyone is happy. Unfortunately, life is not always that simple because these defects, for R&D to be able to handle them, we need to be able to not only identify if this is something that's actually a problem in the product itself. It could be third-party components. It can be something that was added on top of the product, like assemblies, reports, customer-specific configuration. It could be operating system specific. It could be network related, and so on. So in the best of worlds, we get a report. We can quite easily reproduce this in our own system. There's a crash, there's a system or a button that isn't working. Everything is good. More often, unfortunately, defects are harder, meaning that they occur when I do this. Sometimes it happens in this system, but not in that system. So this is the thing where we really need to investigate what's actually going on and go to the bottom of this. And also one of the main reasons why we need good, simple, direct access to systems to be able to validate what's actually going on. Because it can be something that, while being a product defect, you can only trigger it doing a very specific or under very specific circumstances. Like you need to have this configuration and this type of data, and the clock needs to be after 12, and then you hit that button. So it might be something we can only reproduce in your system. So thus the need for not only remote access, but also something that's called remote debugging. That's actually helped us quite a lot, especially since the release of Netadmin 9, where we can see errors in the code remotely. So we can sit in our local Visual Studio and see an exception as it actually occurs, and what line, what row, and so on. But assuming that we manage to reproduce it somehow and it verify that, yes, this is actually a product defect, we can then send it over to the R&D department that will work on a solution in the form of a patch or a release of some sort. Next part will then be the orders. Very much as it sounds. I would like to do something in my system. I want a report that does this. I want an integration. I want to be able to do this in the system. Naturally, these three flows often coexist quite nicely, since we can get an answer, we can get a question saying, how do I do this in the system? And then we can reply saying, well, straight out of the box, you can't. However, we can use this feature or this configuration layer and do something like this. That will allow you to achieve what you want to achieve, and thus turning a direct answer ticket into an order. Once we've decided what you want to do, we can then send it over to the PS department, and then finally a delivery into your system. Also then, things that are problematic but not necessarily a product defect might then also end up in the order flow. For instance, you have a report, for instance, and the report has an obvious error in it. The fixing of that would then also be in the order flow. And as Håkan mentioned, upon any such delivery, we try to keep an internal documentation on what you have in your system. And this will then allow us to quicker understand and get into the details of what might be going on, or how would a new order affect existing processes in your system. There is also the other. Basically, for some strange reason, we can't handle all types of questions inside the support department. I find it quite ridiculous, but some people claim I can't answer everything. Thus the need for a other flow, where we can then ask or reach out to other people and other departments within Netadmin. So for instance, you might need to get in touch with the application management team, or someone at the delivery department, or you have a question that might be tied into a change request or a product advancement, for instance. Then we will get involved with the product team. So to summarize, any type of question that you might have, you can always come to us. You can file a ticket and we will handle it the best way possible. The benefit of using a ticket system instead of the phone, for instance, is that there will always be a documentation on who has said what and when, and any sort of updates will be handed back to you in the form of an email. Yes. Thank you. Jesus, it's attacking me. I can't get it off. There you go.
Hello, my name is Mats Belenius and I am working as a customer success manager within Netadmin since the beginning of this year. I started off in Netadmin in 2018 as a project manager, and I'm still doing part of my time with in project management. And I think that keeps me close to you customers. In some of you customers, it keeps me up to date with our deliveries and our product. So I think that's a good combination to start off with this new role. I'm gonna have a few words about customer success management and what we think is important within this area. So to start off, our goal with customer success management is to build and strengthen our relationship to you with a function that is not directly connected to ongoing projects or the product department. We want to understand your operation, your opportunities and your challenges. We have customers in some different markets and of different size. Your business cases and models are somewhat different, and we want to understand where you are coming from and where you are heading with your business. It's also important for us to create an understanding of Netadmin and our business model and our decisions. Why are we taking the decisions about our product and about our business models that we are doing? This is things that we can assist and inform about and talk with you as a customer about. So how do we think that we should improve the communication, and why do we want to improve our relation with you? We believe that an open-minded dialogue and the mutual understanding are the basis for improvements and continuous improvements. We believe it's the basis for improvements within Netadmin, our product and our organization. How can we strengthen our product and make it better, and how can we improve our availability? In the end, it's about us staying the perfect fit for our existing and future customers. We also believe that this is the basis for improvement within your organization and operation. how can you improve your everyday work, and how can Netadmin, with its product or our services, be part to supply relief and improvements in your operation. And with this open dialogue, we also believe that we can improve our cooperation, make sure that we have a strong communication and we get the most out of our relation. So I'm going to take some examples of discussions that we are already today having with some of you customers, and then we are looking forward to have many more of in the future. So it can concern discussing business opportunities. It could be that you are thinking about acquisition a new network, an existing network, and have some questions about how will that be incorporated in your Netadmin installation, and how that will affect your installation. It can be that you see a need to have a new hardware vendor, change the hardware vendor for new build-outs, and how will that be incorporated, and how will that affect your installation, and how can we assist you to get support for this new hardware. We can also discuss about application management. What functions are you seeing as a hurdle in your everyday work, and how can we assist to improve that? And of course, it could concern potential projects that you see coming forward, which you want to just have a brief initial discussion about on a general level. Then, of course, we will transfer this information further to our professional service department if we get into a delivery project. It's also important for us within customer success and customer care to identify market similarities and differences in order to facilitate initiation of special interest group and product advancements together with our product department. We will, based on our dialogues, also propose internal product improvements, not necessarily initiated by our customer, but as a result of the dialogue we have with several of you. And we will also participate in advising our product department and professional service department in differentiation of what is a custom requirement or a general requirement that we see on the more wide area. So this is some examples of what we do in our everyday work as customer success management. So I will end up with a slide here just to give you an understanding of what is the aim with customer success. If you ever felt left out to these three guys, you feel that no one is listening or talking to you or hear what you are saying, the aim with customer success management is to be the fourth monkey, the one that listens, sees, and speaks to you about your everyday work and how we can improve our cooperation. And in the end, customer success, it's not about us or you succeeding, it's about us succeeding together. And that's the important message for me, that always reach out to us. We are open to discuss with you about high and low, and we are always available. And with that said, I'm gonna leave over again to Håkan to talk about a little bit about application management.
All right, thank you, Mats, for that. And it's good to be the fourth monkey, I think. And as Mats said, we are going to proceed with application management. And I think a wise approach to enter this subject would be to look at those two questions there. What is application management, or AM? And what's in it for you? Application management is, of course, a quite wide term. And the scope and content can vary quite a lot depending on the actual situation and need on your side. But if you recall on what we mentioned earlier, we said that application management could be seen as an extension of the support function, which is correct. But the big difference is that within application management, we have the ambition to work proactively with your installation, and also in some ways within your organization, or at least closer to, compared to support, where you normally reach out to us when there is an issue on your side. And from that perspective, there are some general cornerstones or purposes that builds up an application management assignment, the way we see it at least. And I think we should have a look on those. And I believe it's wise to start from the top. And what's in it for you? Relieve and unburden. I should say that this is the key ambition that we have, and the key purpose of an application management assignment is to relieve and unburden you as customers from, let's say, could be time-consuming, recurring maintenance work, or other tasks or pains or hurdles that you experience, and that might be better off if Netadmin did instead, and be more efficient if Netadmin did instead. It could also be basically that you don't want to build up a complete organization on your side and simply want to outsource some of your task or some parts to us. And even though we want to relieve and unburden you, we also want you to be involved. I mean, to really gain deeper understanding and deeper insight into your Netadmin operation, and also be part of improve and optimize your processes around Netadmin. I should say that was the main purpose, and let's continue to look at the cornerstone as we see it that builds up an application management assignment. And the first would then be monitor and analyze. This is somewhat the base for the assignment, where we proactively get to know your installation and related processes, and sort of benchmark how your Netadmin behaves and performs. But also, and this is important, how the installation will cope and handle with changes over time as a consequence of your network growth and with increased volume and functionality. There could be new integrations or hardware added. Number of users could increase, etc. So in short, we want to detect problems or identify areas that could be improved or optimized. Next one is prevent and avoid, and this is also important. I mean, based on the insights and understanding that we get from the monitoring and analyzing part, an important aspect of application management is therefore, of course, to identify abnormalities, deviating patterns or bad trends in an early stage, enabling us both to act before an actual operational issue appears. What could this then be? Basically anything. It could be an alarm regarding high disk utilization. We could monitor the execution times for certain critical jobs, and the time tends to increase. There could be warnings or alerts in log files that need some action, or simply that the CPU time or the CPU utilization tends to increase on a certain server, indicating that it might start to struggle soon. And if a critical situation is likely to happen, you will be alerted and informed about this, or the application management team could take direct action if that's been agreed. So one part of AM and and also an important part, is to prevent future issues by working proactively with trends and data within your system. And we proceed to the next cornerstone, suggest. Based on conclusion that has been taken during the previous part, application management or the team comes up with suggestions regarding changes or actions that would improve your daily operation. This could be within a variety of different areas, but some common ones are, of course, performance-related optimizations. It could be related to your database, your table health, table sizes, but it could also regard actually tweaking existing processes that involves Netadmin within your system landscape or organization. So suggestions are forwarded to you and discussed with you, and often leads to a next step where the actual change comes into play. And let's proceed to the next cornerstone. And we are at improve and optimize. In addition to prevent and avoid, improve and optimize has really nothing to do with direct or urgent critical situation, and refers more to perfective measures in order to improve performance or make the day-to-day operation a bit smoother. This is actually where the application management team rolls up the sleeves and actually do the work. And to give you some examples, it could be make a slow page in the system load faster, identify and purge unused data in the system to make the database a little bit healthier, tweak the actual database questions in order to improve performance, rotate log files and such to prevent disks from filling up, or actually make a specific repetitive task simplified and automated for the users. Bottom line, identify things that could be improved and actually do something about it. And finally, application management governance. This could, in a sense, be seen as the control center of an application management assignment, where we collect important information about performance, monthly statistics, anomalies and trends, and those are reported and discussed to you on a typically monthly basis. But also within AM governance, a lot of other things could be incorporated. Typical things could be that Netadmin handles your user account management, system patching, training, system documentations. We could also be involved in writing requirement specification on your behalf. We could attend a meeting as resources, or basically any task related to Netadmin. And with this, we are back to the main purpose, relieve and unburden. And yeah, as mentioned before, it's a wide area, and an application management assignment could include different things. It's all depending on the need that you have on your side. But the main purpose is always to relieve and unburden you and enable you to work with your core business, and also sleep well during the night to be ensure that your installation or your Netadmin will perform tomorrow as well. This was some words about application management, and let's have a quick look into what we have in mind down the road. So what do we have in mind and what to expect down the road? Yeah, as said earlier, we are rookies, but we have identified something, and also since we are quite young as an department, feedback from you is of course always appreciated. But our support portal would need some love and care. this is nothing decided yet though, but we are looking into how could we make the experience for you when interacting with the portal better, more purpose-built UI, etc. Simplify the administration on your side regarding tickets. The possibility to have alternative wizard or guidance depending on the ticket type and contact on your side. Multiple addresses on your side when tickets are updated. And also possibility to publish useful information regarding your installation in the support portal. It could be license usage, patch levels, keys, support information, etc. Nothing is decided yet though, but we want to inform you that this is one area that we are looking into improvements. Secondly, we just would like to mention the user manual work. I mean, this is mainly driven by our system department, the product department. And the first version has been released and published on the dev site. And we are looking into how to take this to the next step. Of course, in combination with other functions within Netadmin. And finally, we want to get to know you even more. I mean, as Mats talked about during the customer success management presentation, it's really important for us to get to know you. We think we do, but we could always improve. So this is one thing that we want to share with you, that we want to get to know you even more. And that ends up the part regarding future things. And we have the Q&A. And let's see if there are any comments posted. If I look at the questions here, it seems to be empty, but it's probably due to that you are writing as I speak. So let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes here. And I can't see that anyone has raised their hands either. No. Could it be that it was that crystal clear, everything we talked about? But you never know. All right. I think we actually managed to deliver a crystal clear message. But I know that you're always welcome to come back. Let's see, nice, okay. Yes, it seems to be that the message was crystal clear, and we just end this session by saying thank you very much, and we keep in touch. And from the whole customer care team. And you know where to find us. Thank you and bye-bye.